Hey friends, my name is Erin and today I'm choosing some books to read in February. It is already February and I have already filmed this video once, but the audio was crinkly somehow. So we're gonna try again. I'm gonna make this quick. Before I get into February books, there was a January book that I did not finish. Actually, there were 3 January books that I didn't finish, but only one of them was an official book. I did not finish Another Country by James Baldwin. I did get it done. I didn't DNF it. I finished it 2 days ago, so February 4th or something like that, but didn't get that one done. I am also still in the middle of Vevin Song. This is a self-published book that is coming out in February by a debut author. I'll put the picture up here. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it at this point and definitely enjoying it. If you want to support new authors or, self-published authors, this would be one you could check out. It has a really cool species that I've loved reading about. The beginning took me a little bit to get into, but I'm really enjoying kind of how our world and this new species are coming together. The premise of this book is following Marla and her city had to go underwater into cocoons when she was a baby because there was this species of kind of bird-like creatures called Vevin that came down and just started raining terror. There were definitely some character things this book that I felt I wasn't sure about, but I really, really love the Vevin and their species. And once we got to meet them, they are really fun characters. They feel very unique. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see how this book finishes. I also, still in the middle of this guy. I'm on page 400, so exactly halfway through. Still tabbing, still moving along. I just, for whatever reason, find myself picking up other things first. I'm not sure who to root for because some of the characters I feel like I'm supposed to root for I don't vibe with them. And I feel like they are supposed to be maybe unlikable characters. I'm also wondering how they're going to tie everything together, by the end of this book because it feels very epic scale in one book. So that's going to be interesting. But I've always heard good things. And so, yeah, I'm excited to finish. Hopefully I will finish in February. Between Vevin Song and Priory of the Orange Tree, I am not going to be drawing very many books this month. I've been reading way less. I think I read 5 books in January, which for me, my average is usually 8 to 10. And 3 of those 5 were actually audiobooks. So I am doing an audiobook this month. I have started Nettle and Bone, which I'm pretty excited about. So far, you're following the 3rd princess, the youngest princess, who feels like she can't quite live up to her job, even though she is the 3rd princess. And with her sisters kind of in danger, she has to step up. And so you're kind of watching her figure out how she is going to take on these challenges when up until this point in her life, she's kind of been pushed to the side. Okay, so I have 3 prompts left on my giant board here. So I think 3 books will be perfect. And I'm gonna go ahead and say my goal was to, when I finish a round on this board, to buy myself something, a new book. And I already preemptively gave myself the reward because I bought the last of my Wheel of Time books. So I'm gonna say that is my reward for potentially finishing these 3 books this month. It's not how rewards are supposed to work, but this time we'll let it slide. Okay, here's prompt number 1. You need some guidance. Read a book that's 10 years old or older. For this, I'm going to keep working on the Artemis Fowl series and read the Eternity Code. I love the Artemis Fowl series, and I found that even as an adult, they have held up and they are fun reads. The 3rd book follows Artemis, who has just been reunited with his dad, and his dad is trying to go clean and not be a criminal anymore. And so Artemis is like, I'm gonna do one more crime and then I'll be done. We know better. Somewhere in this last crime of his butler, one of his main characters and his true guardian really at this point, is put in danger. So he has to go back to the Fae folk and ask for help. Moving right along, this is gonna be a quick video because like I said, I'd already filmed it. So prompt number 2. It says, the guard is asking for the password. Read a 1-word title. Pretty excited for this one. It is a longer book and February is a shorter month. Don't know if it's a good decision, but I'm gonna go with Renegades. This is by Marissa Meyer, and I love that author. She wrote the Luna Chronicles, which I adore and reread, and so I feel like it's time to get into her next series. I've heard less about this one, and it does involve superheroes, which is not necessarily something I would consider in my wheelhouse, but the author definitely is. And so I just have to have a little bit of faith, I think. I'm guessing this is going to be an enemies to lover because it follows Nova, who is out for vengeance. She is aligned to the villains in this book, and she meets a boy who is all about justice. And I feel like, you know, I'm guessing one of them is going to be swayed. Okay, my last prompt. The bowl of soup warms your soul. Reread a favorite. This is funny because we already have one reread, but I'm going to break out Legend by Marie Lu. I loved these in the good old dystopian days, and I feel like this is one of the ones where like the third book didn't absolutely break my heart. I haven't though reread it as often as I have some of the others that I loved during this time in my life, and so I think it's time. I wasn't expecting to do 2 rereads, but I feel like it'll be good for me. So Legend follows a girl whose brother is a prodigy in this world. She's also on track to become a military prodigy, and one of her assignments is to go undercover as like a street urchin to find this criminal genius. And she meets the criminal genius by accident. He kind of saves her, if I remember right, and she realizes that everything she knows is a lie. And you gotta love that. All right, so I'm gonna hold these 4 up. This is my goal for February. It's already February 5th, and all I've done is finish my January book. So I've got some work to do, but I'm hoping to get through to it. So I hope you all have a wonderful month. Let me know what you're reading in February. I always love a good TBR, and I will see you all later. Bye, friends.